Our Kawasaki MX1 Moto number 1 here in Toowoomba. It is Jed Beaton, quickest out there earlier in front of Kyle Webster, and only just also in front of Dean Ferris. Wilson Todd, Nathan Crawford, Todd Waters, Zachary Watson, Aaron Tanti, Luke Zielinski, and Connor Rosendich.
Very impressive from Ferris there, showing good early speed here. Bud, Jackson, Rogers, Sweet, Fitzpatrick, top 15 qualifying. Holroyd, Duffy O'Lone, Orchard, and Cody Schatt there, 20th fastest.
Now I'm going to throw a couple of stats at you before we get this one underway. Jed Beaton has had 4 starts here in the Premier class, never been off the podium with 1 win. Kyle Webster, 6 starts, never been off the podium, 2 wins. Tanti, yet to pick up a win here in Toowoomba. And Dean Ferris has done it 3 times at this place. He comes out in fine form. In fact, he clinched his title here in 2017. So he likes this place as well. Dean Ferris qualified 3rd fastest, just only 2/10 off the back of those lead 2. Keep an eye on Ferris. This could be the weekend we see him on top.
Some very interesting stats there, and definitely not a case of the dog eating Hammy's homework. Great job there, Hambone, as we get ever so close to the drop of the gate here. Kawasaki MX1 Moto number 1. We have got some big guns down there on the start. Now talk us through, Danny, where are you picking on the grid?
Well, we've seen it from sort of mid-grid and also from out wide. There's been a big sweep into the turn. I would say where the yellow helmet is in the middle is not a bad starting position, but it's all about getting off the grid for that first 5 meters as the bikes now come up to revs. We're about to get the first of our Kawasaki MX1 underway.
What a jump out of the gate from Jed Beaton, just to the left of the dog box. Now that was Tanti. Ferris out. Ferris and one of the Honda boys. Is that Wilson Todd? We have had so many down. Wow, what just happened here? So there is Jed Beaton and Nathan Crawford right behind him. So we have had some carnage in that first turn, and I cannot see Kyle Webster come through either. Now, was Webster involved in that same incident with Wilson Todd? No, that's number 25. That's
Ferris.
Number 1. That's Kyle Webster right there.
And the bike is locked up. There's mud in the chain. What a turn of events. Aaron Tanti, he spoke of it at the start line. He needs to get these starts dialed in. Well, you have the opportunity right now. Number 9 leads away. Todd Waters there in second, but he has a lot of pressure from Jed Beaton.
Now, how about Jacob Sweet, the Victorian privateer, in second place? What a ride. He's had some good results so far, but to be up in the top 2, wow. The whole shot going to the CDR Monster Energy Yamaha rider, Aaron Tanti.
And Nathan Crawford as well is in the mix. He's back there in 5th place at the moment, right in behind Jacob Sweet. Like you said, a great start for him. Well positioned in the top 5. Things heating up at the front.
Now, Danny, we mentioned in the opener, Aaron Tanti just needs to work on those starts. Well, maybe he was listening to our opener before it even got aired.
He had some insight to what we were saying. We guide the way these races go. As we see the number 3 bounce his way through the rollers. Tanti opening up just a small gap through that section over his teammate in Jed Beaton. We look back a little further from there. Damon Erbacher is in 6th. Riley Fitzpatrick is up there. Reese Budd as well is up there as they go across the finish line. Remember, Reese Budd is riding MX2 and MX1 here today.
Okay, so it's a kind of interesting situation for Craig Dack here, team manager, team owner, the CDR Monster Energy Yamaha team. He would have seen both of the major competitors for him as the Yamaha team go down in the first turn. The Honda boys are both, I don't know if they're even up and running. Are they out of the race? Now, what he sees at the moment now is both of his riders first and second place. It's a different kind of nerves, isn't it? Let's be nice to each other.
Absolutely. You do not want to do anything silly here. I'm sure both of these guys know. They won't probably know the extent of what's going on here. So as we see Webster. Yeah, Webster still not up and going. There's the riders that crashed in turn 1. Ferris, Webster, Wilson Todd, and Liam Jackson. Jackson's on his feet, which is great to see. To the inside, though. How about that line from Beaton? Waiting no time at all.
Now you got to wonder, and that was nice. I'm wondering how much was that playing nice with Beaton, and to be able to latch on to the back of Jed Beaton. Tanti would know the pace that he has on any track, to be able to just follow him around, do his best to latch on. Who have we got here?
That's Liam Jackson back up from the first turn crash. So great to see he's up and walking. Looks like maybe his arm a little bit. Here is the replay down the bottom right of the pass for the lead. Beaton dives to the inside here, picks up a very nice rut to the inside. There's no bumps there. That's an 80 line. I'm sure the 80s created that before they got out there.
You know what line that is? That's a Jed Beaton line. How does he manage to find those type of lines when no one else can find them? I mean, eventually they'll catch on to where Jed's going, but his vision to be able to spot that from just one side lap is incredible.
Crawford there in third place. We move back a little bit further in the field. That there, I think, is Cody Shatton, isn't it? No, 559. My apologies, of Urbacher. Is that Reese Budd also?
Yes, Reese Budd, double duties. He'd be taking some deep breaths here. It's a long day ahead of him. He's already got moto number 1 of the Pirelli MX2 under his belt. And this being moto number 1, the Kawasaki MX1 class. Beautiful line up the inside. Trying to find a little bit of space on the number 185, Riley Fitzpatrick. So for Reese Budd, in what is his debut 450 ride, to be up inside the top 10.
Oh, big moment for Budd just then. He hit some braking bumps, got very, very loose, managed to save it, almost lost the position again after just picking it up. Fitzpatrick not wanting to give it away.
A little bit more inertia, shall we say, on the 450 as opposed to the smaller 250 machine.
I think we might have mentioned it before. How does he treat the 450 over the 250? Well, a little bit of respect, and knowing that that bike can bite you pretty easily. Good battle here as Fitzpatrick goes to the inside, gets that pass made.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, plenty more action. Welcome back to the Penrite Pro MX Championship presented by AMX Superstores here at Echo Valley, Toowoomba.
Keep an eye on Nathan Crawford though in third place, 0.7 of a second faster than Aaron Tanti that last lap around, as Jed Beaton is absolutely flying out there with the new fastest time, well clear of everyone else. A 1:57.9 is the fastest lap of the race. That is nearly 2 full seconds faster than anyone else on track. That's just insane to see him be able to find those times this early in the race.
Now, you just mentioned before, Danny, about Nathan Crawford. He was 0.7 of a second faster than Aaron Tanti, and is not too far back. So that is the battle that I am looking forward to seeing. If Crawford can keep on these rails that he's on at the moment and just try to keep pushing ahead, not make any mistakes, I think it's only a matter of time before these two will have their own battle for second and third.
So smooth through the rollers.
He's actually making this look like a fun track to ride that doesn't look too difficult. I promise you that that is not the case at the moment.
With the lines that he's finding, the way he's moving around on the track, that's what we're seeing out of him. It does look like it becomes easy when you find the flow that he has got at the moment. It's a weird track like that. You can fight the bike, fight the whole day, the whole ride, so much on a circuit like this, but that one time you just work out the right line, the flow that comes with it, everything seems to be so much easier, and that's what we're seeing with this rider up front at the moment.
Now, I'm kind of torn a little bit at the moment, Danny. I'm gutted that our head-to-head rivalry between Kyle Webster and Jed Beaton has just had a massive hit. It's taken a huge hit, but what I am enjoying is just watching the kind of form that we are seeing Jed Beaton in for 2026.
The difference between Tanti and Beaton in lap times Beaton has been in the 57s pretty consistently over the last 6 or 7 laps, with the exception of one where he touched a 2 minute. Tanti's only been there once, and it's up and down all the way. That's the consistency of Beaton that's so impressive.
Now, Danny, I want to ask your opinion here on Aaron Tanti. Now, watching him at the moment, he looks bulletproof compared to qualifying, where I believe he was rushing it way too much. He looks like a different rider at the moment. His race speed and his line selection and how he attacks the hooks in ruts, I think he's a different rider. A big charge from dead last through to 11th place for Wilson Todd, and he's only 1 second behind Riley Fitzpatrick, who sits, well, scratch that, he's just made his way into 10th place. Now, that's a credible ride.
Todd Waters, a lonely one in 4th place at the moment. We haven't seen anything of him in this one. He put himself into a great position off the start and managed to maintain that one throughout this first moto of the Kawasaki MX1, just picking up those lines to the middle of track, where it doesn't look like there's been too many riders through the vision, up and over the top. He's got, as I said, a lonely race, but he's only 4 seconds back from Crawford. It's a bit late in the moto to try and push, but maybe if he was a little bit earlier in this one, possibly could have got up there and maybe mounted a challenge. My apologies, I've read that wrong. He's 28 back from Crawford. He is just in front of Watson. My apologies, I was well and truly off.
Having a good look at the moment at Todd Waters, doing a fantastic job. Like we've said a few times throughout this season, he's just like a fine red wine. He's getting better with age. Jed Beaton, this has been a fun race, I would say, for him. Like we mentioned earlier, this would have been those ones almost like a midweek practice session where you're watching your pit board, you're looking at your lap times. He doesn't want to slow down too much, like Craig Dack said, because all of a sudden, if you change your pace dramatically, then these ruts, the lines that you're hitting, it seems like a different track out there, and I don't think he has done anything wrong. This has been about as good as you can get.
So smooth on the bike, works his way through the right, heads towards the top of Matterhorn. Nice big jump over this tabletop. All race, he has been very, very cautious through that particular part. Squares here, gets to the top, out wide, square across, onto dirt that no one else is touching. And he's done that a lot of this track, finding new lines where everyone else just dives to the inside, sweeps across to the outside. Every other rider's using it. There's bumps all the way through. He's just found it so simple, made his line so easy, and just made his life so good for this moto.
It's almost like he's patented that line at the top of the Matterhorn. Well, into the final turn. It is the year of Jed Beaton. Moto 1 victory. Nice little fist pump. And that is the way you do it. You can't do much better than a 1-2 for the CDR Monster Energy Yamaha team as Aaron Tanti comes over to take an impressive second place. He's got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I would think so, absolutely. But he kind of shook his head just a little bit as he went across the line. I'm not sure what that was about. As we look at the official results for Kawasaki MX1, Moto number 1, Jed Beaton, Aaron Tanti, Nathan Crawford, Waters with a lonely 4th. Zachary Watson pushed through a long way into 5th. Zielinski, Bud with a good 7th. Rosenditch as well up there in 8th place. Jacob Sweet faded back to 9th. And then, well, actually Wilson Todd, they just showed up there.
We swap around.
We were just ahead of ourselves just a little bit there.
What a charge from Wilson Todd, 8th place. Fantastic job. Fitzpatrick 11th, Duffy, Rogers, Olone, Urbacher. Great to see Damon Urbacher up there.
Big field of 450 riders, of course. Holroyd was one of the riders down early in that race. And, of course, at the bottom of the list is Webster, Ferris, and Jackson. Let's head down to Trent from podium.
Jed Beaton, Moto 1 in the books there. Looked very tricky to start, but you just missed that chaos into number 1. Talk us through that and then the rest of the moto for you.
Yeah, just missed it. I mean, I actually clipped someone's bike. It was a Honda. I don't know whose bike it was, but yeah, I got away pretty lucky with that one and sort of just tried to sneak up the inside and yeah, sort of, I seen a few people went down. I didn't know who, and then I was like, oh, I need to just get to the lead as quick as I can and then just find some nice lines and try and ride my own race. So yeah, I normally pump up in the first moto here and I got a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. So yeah, felt pretty comfortable out there and I think from the pit board, my lap times were pretty solid the whole time. So yeah, it just felt nice in a nice flow and rhythm with the track. So yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Well, the smile says it all, and that's a big swing in the championship points too, boys.
We heard so many riders just there.